The vast emptiness of space stretched like an endless black canvas, punctuated by distant starlight and the soft hum of interstellar currents. The mining colony of Proxima 9 hung like a delicate jewel against the cosmic backdrop, its metallic structures gleaming with the reflected light of 3 nearby moons. Una moved carefully through the asteroid processing facility, her slender frame wrapped in a lightweight environmental suit designed for zero-gravity work. Her species, the Lyrans, were known for their exceptional adaptability and delicate sensory capabilities. Each movement was calculated, precise, a survival mechanism honed through generations of working in harsh cosmic environments. The facility's massive processing arms churned asteroid fragments, separating valuable minerals with mechanical precision. Robotic drones darted between massive storage containers, their blue-white energy fields creating mesmerizing patterns of light and shadow. Una's job was simple: monitor mineral composition and ensure quality control. Suddenly, a low-frequency vibration rippled through the station's metal framework. Most workers wouldn't have noticed, but Una's enhanced sensory organs detected something was wrong. Her transparent skin, a biological adaptation that helped her regulate temperature in extreme environments, shifted subtly, revealing intricate neural pathways that pulsed with warning signals. Before she could activate her communication implant, specialized capture drones emerged from hidden maintenance corridors. Their sleek metallic bodies moved with predatory efficiency, advanced tracking systems locking onto her unique biological signature. These weren't standard security protocols, these were precision extraction units. The Krell Consortium's technology was unmistakable. Sophisticated quantum restraint fields began forming around her, creating invisible barriers that would neutralize any attempt to escape. Una understood immediately. She wasn't just being detained, she was being targeted for something far more sinister. 3 massive robotic arms descended from the facility's ceiling, their segmented structures moving with unsettling organic-like fluidity. Specialized electromagnetic pulse generators started charging, designed to temporarily disable her neural protective mechanisms. Each movement was calculated, removing her ability to resist or communicate. Una's mind raced. The Lyran genetic structure was rare, capable of cellular regeneration that could potentially revolutionize biological engineering. Some species viewed her kind not as sentient beings, but as walking biological resources waiting to be harvested and exploited. The capture happened with clinical precision. No alarms, no dramatic struggle, just cold, calculated extraction. Within moments, Una found herself sealed inside a specialized containment pod. Transparent yet incredibly strong energy barriers surrounded her, blocking all communication frequencies. Outside, the pod Krell technicians moved like mechanical shadows. Their silicon-based bodies reflected minimal light, creating an intimidating presence. Advanced holographic interfaces displayed her biological data, genetic markers, cellular regeneration potential reproductive capabilities. Una watched helplessly as her entire workstation was systematically dismantled. Any evidence of her presence would be erased. The mining facility would report her as missing during routine asteroid processing, a common occurrence in deep space. Operations. The containment pod began its journey, detaching from the Proxima 9 facility with calculated smoothness. Advanced stealth technology ensured no tracking signals would reveal its trajectory. Massive quantum drive engines hummed to life, preparing to jump through hyperspace corridors towards a destination unknown. Her last glimpse of familiarity faded. The soft blue atmospheric lights of the mining colony, the rhythmic dance of robotic work units, the distant shimmer of asteroid fragments being processed. Everything she knew was becoming a rapidly shrinking memory. Inside the pod, environmental controls adjusted to maintain her biological stability. Nutrient solutions began circulating, monitoring her physiological responses. She wasn't a prisoner. In the traditional sense, she was a carefully preserved biological specimen. The vast, cold mathematics of galactic exploitation had selected her, not as an individual, but as a potential resource. A living, breathing genetic library waiting to be decoded, manipulated, and potentially destroyed. The research station orbited a neutron star, its massive structure a testament to technological might and cold, calculated precision. Layers of energy shields rippled like liquid mercury, protecting the facility from deadly radiation and potential external threats. Inside, the corridors were a maze of sterile white surfaces and pulsing blue holographic interfaces. Yuna's containment pod was carefully transferred through a series of automated decontamination chambers. Each section scanned her biological systems with invasive precision, mapping her genetic structure, analyzing cellular compositions, probing her most fundamental biological secrets. She felt exposed, stripped of dignity, reduced to nothing more than a complex biological algorithm. The Krell technicians moved with mechanical efficiency. Their silicon-based bodies reflected minimal light, creating ghostly silhouettes against the clinical environment. Advanced robotic arms extended from hidden compartments, each equipped with specialized medical probes and genetic manipulation tools. These weren't medical instruments. They were biological engineering weapons designed to break down and reconstruct living organisms. Large holographic displays surrounded her containment chamber, showing intricate 3D models of her cellular structure. Genetic markers danced in complex patterns, revealing the unique regenerative capabilities of her Lyran species. The Krell scientists studied these projections like predators analyzing their most valuable prey. A primary research director, a towering silicon-based creature with multiple sensory stalks, approached her containment pod. Its communication interface translated complex mathematical equations into basic language. Subject demonstrates exceptional cellular regeneration potential. Reproductive capabilities exceed preliminary projections by 276%. Yuna watched other captured beings in nearby chambers. Some were partially transformed, their bodies displaying horrifying hybrid characteristics, half-organic, half-mechanical constructs that represented the Krell's ultimate biological engineering goal. Each chamber told a story of violated biological integrity, of life reduced to experimental components. Specialized nutrient streams began circulating through her containment environment. These weren't just feeding solutions. They were preparatory treatments designed to optimize her biological systems for potential reproductive procedures. Every molecule was calculated, every biological response monitored with terrifying precision. Robotic. Maintenance units moved silently around the facility. Some appeared almost organic, with flexible tentacle-like appendages that could reshape themselves instantly. Others were pure mechanical precision, sharp-edged and angular, designed for specific surgical interventions. The entire facility felt like a living organism, constantly adapting, constantly watching. Yuna's sensory capabilities allowed her to perceive subtle environmental changes most species would miss. She detected microscopic shifts in radiation levels, minute alterations in atmospheric composition, the faintest electromagnetic pulses that suggested upcoming procedures. Her body was preparing its own defense mechanisms, a biological survival strategy developed over millennia. The Krell's ultimate goal became increasingly clear. They weren't just studying her, they were preparing her as a potential living incubator for a new generation of genetically enhanced biological constructs. Her rare cellular regeneration capabilities made her the perfect candidate for their most ambitious genetic engineering project. Complex machinery began warming up in adjacent chambers. Quantum genetic manipulators hummed with potential energy, their advanced interfaces suggesting multiple potential biological reconstruction scenarios. Yuna could see potential futures mapped out in cold, clinical holographic projections, each scenario more terrifying than the last. Her mind searched for escape routes, for potential weaknesses in their system. But the Krell's technological capabilities seemed almost supernatural. Every potential resistance pathway was already anticipated, every biological response predicted and countered before it could fully develop. The facility itself seemed alive. A massive technological organism designed to deconstruct and reconstruct living beings. Corridors shifted, energy barriers recalibrated, maintenance units moved with unsettling organic-like fluidity. This wasn't just a research station, it was a living machine dedicated to biological manipulation. As hours passed, Yuna's hope began to fade. But deep within her genetic memory, a survival instinct burned bright, a promise of resistance, a hope that something unexpected might still occur. Little did she know, a human engineer was already tracking her location, his determination burning brighter than the neutron star surrounding the research station. End of Part 2. The interstellar cargo ship Horizon Breaker drifted through the complex radiation belt of the Proxima sector, its advanced sensor arrays cutting through cosmic interference like a knife. J1 leaned back in the pilot station, his fingers dancing across holographic control interfaces that responded to the slightest touch. Something felt different today. The normal monotony of supply route navigation had been interrupted by a series of unusual quantum signal distortions. Most pilots would have ignored these minor electromagnetic anomalies, but J1 wasn't most pilots. His years of terraforming, engineering had taught him that unexpected signals always meant something important was happening. The ship's AI, a sophisticated quantum processing system named Aria, began running complex analysis algorithms. Quantum frequency maps started appearing, revealing intricate signal patterns that didn't match standard communication protocols. Bright blue holographic lines zigzagged across the navigation screen, creating a mesmerizing dance of data. Anomaly detected, Aria's neutral voice announced. Quantum frequency matches prohibited research zone signatures. Recommendation: investigate or reroute. J1's eyes narrowed. The Proxima sector was notorious for illegal biological research stations, operated by various galactic consortiums. Corporate entities often established hidden facilities in radiation-rich zones, knowing standard patrol systems couldn't easily penetrate such environments. He adjusted the ship's specialized radiation-penetrating scanners. Unlike standard navigation systems, these were custom-modified devices he'd personally engineered during his years working on extreme planetary terraforming projects. Each modification represented months of careful calibration and dangerous experimental work. The scanner's resolution began revealing something extraordinary. Hidden behind multiple energy camouflage layers was a massive research facility. Its structural design matched known Krell Consortium architectural patterns, a silicon-based species infamous for their unethical biological engineering practices. Detailed holographic projections started mapping the facility's internal structure. Multiple containment chambers, advanced genetic manipulation laboratories, and complex energy distribution networks became visible. But one specific chamber caught J1's attention, a containment pod with a unique biological signature that didn't match any known standard database records. Aria, analyze that specific chamber's quantum frequency, he commanded. The AI's processing units worked rapidly. Within seconds, a comprehensive biological profile emerged. The containment pod housed a living being with extraordinary cellular regeneration capabilities. More critically, the being appeared to be held against its will, displaying clear signs of forced biological confinement. J1's past experiences as a humanitarian engineer kicked into high gear. He'd seen enough illegal research facilities during his terraforming missions to recognize a potential biological trafficking operation. The Krell were known for treating sentient beings as mere biological resources, breaking fundamental galactic humanitarian protocols. The ship's communication systems detected encrypted transmission fragments. Advanced decryption algorithms slowly revealed disturbing details about the facility's primary research objectives. They were preparing to use the captured being as a biological incubation unit, essentially transforming a living, sentient creature into a reproductive machine. His hand hovered over the navigation controls. Standard protocol would involve reporting this to interstellar law enforcement, but J1 knew such bureaucratic channels would take months, if not years. By then, the captured being would likely be irreversibly transformed. Aria's voice interrupted his thoughts. Potential rescue probability calculated. Current success rate 37.6%. Recommended approach requires significant risk parameters. A smile crossed J1's face. Those were the best odds he'd ever needed. His terraforming background had taught him that impossible missions were just challenges waiting to be solved. With creativity and determination, he began preparing the ship's specialized infiltration modules. Custom-designed maintenance drones, quantum signal disruptors, and advanced stealth technology would be his primary tools. Each device represented years of personal engineering modifications, tools designed to bypass even the most sophisticated security systems. The facility's location was perfect. Orbiting a neutron star meant extreme radiation would mask most infiltration attempts. Standard tracking systems would be virtually blind. It was a dangerous environment, but for J1, danger was just another problem waiting to be solved. Preparing infiltration sequence, Aria announced. Warning: proposed mission parameters exceed standard safety protocols by 286%. J1's eyes gleamed with determination. Someone was waiting to be rescued, and he wasn't going to let bureaucratic caution or technological barriers stand in his way. The Horizon Breaker's engines hummed with quiet anticipation, ready to breach the most dangerous research facility in the sector. End of Part 3. The Horizon Breaker's quantum drives pulsed with controlled energy as J1 navigated through the neutron star's intense radiation fields. Specialized quantum shields flickered, creating a delicate dance of protection against cosmic interference. His custom-modified maintenance drone, a marvel of engineering he'd personally redesigned during countless deep space missions, prepared for infiltration. Stealth was critical. The Krell facility's security systems were legendary. Multiple layers of quantum encryption, bioadaptive defense mechanisms, and advanced predictive threat algorithms. Standard infiltration techniques would fail within microseconds. But J1 wasn't planning a standard approach. Aria's holographic interface projected a real-time facility map. Hundreds of robotic defense units patrolled internal corridors. Quantum energy barriers shifted dynamically, creating a living, breathing security network that adapted faster than most biological minds could comprehend. Initiating infiltration sequence, Aria announced. The maintenance drone transformed, its metallic body reshaping with liquid-like precision. Specialized quantum disruptors emerged from hidden compartments, designed to temporarily neutralize complex electronic systems. J1's fingers danced across specialized control interfaces. Each movement was calculated, precise, a result of years spent engineering complex terraforming systems on hostile planetary environments. Where most would see an impossible challenge, he saw a complex puzzle waiting to be solved. The drone's first point of entry was a maintenance airlock positioned near the facility's peripheral energy distribution network. Microscopic quantum manipulators began decoding security protocols, creating temporary access pathways that would exist for mere milliseconds before dissolving. Robotic defense units began detecting subtle system disturbances. Quantum sensors swept through facility corridors, searching for potential intrusion points. But J1 was several steps ahead. His drone's adaptive camouflage technology created false signal patterns, effectively creating invisible movement. Corridors. Inside the facility, Una sensed something changing. Her advanced Lyran sensory capabilities detected minute electromagnetic shifts. Something was disrupting the Krell's perfect technological ecosystem. Hope, which had been slowly dying, began to flicker back to life. J1's drone navigated through increasingly complex security layers. Quantum encryption walls dissolved momentarily, creating microscopic access points. Each breach was carefully calculated, leaving no permanent traces of intervention. It was like performing surgical technology, precise, controlled, almost invisible. The maintenance corridors became a labyrinth of technological complexity. Robotic maintenance units moved like silent predators, their sensory arrays constantly scanning for potential intrusions. But J1's drone moved with an organic-like fluidity, adapting faster than the facility's defensive systems could predict. Specialized quantum disruptors began neutralizing specific security frequencies. Energy barriers flickered, creating momentary blind spots in the facility's defensive network. It was a delicate technological dance. One miscalculation would trigger immediate lockdown procedures. Yuna's containment chamber sat at the facility's most secure internal section. Multiple quantum energy barriers, advanced biological monitoring systems, and specialized robotic defense units created a near-impenetrable environment. But near-impenetrable wasn't impossible, especially for someone like J1. The drone's final approach required absolute precision. Microscopic quantum manipulation tools began interfacing with the containment chamber's complex locking mechanisms. Each movement was calculated to the nanosecond, creating temporary access pathways that would collapse immediately after use. Suddenly, a connection formed. The containment chamber's energy barriers began to destabilize. Yuna watched in stunned silence as her imprisonment's technological perfection began to crack. Something, or someone, was systematically dismantling the Krell's sophisticated security systems. J1's voice crackled through a specialized communication channel. "Prepare for extraction. Stay calm. Your rescue is in progress." The words were simple, but they carried a promise of hope. A human promise of liberation, cutting through the cold technological precision of the Krell's biological engineering facility. For the first time since her capture, Yuna felt something she'd almost forgotten: the possibility of freedom. End of Part 4. The containment chamber's energy barriers began to dissolve like fragile glass, revealing Yuna's trembling form. Her transparent skin pulsed with a mix of fear and anticipation, years of captivity making every movement uncertain. J1's maintenance drone extended a careful mechanical appendage, creating a bridge between imprisonment and potential freedom. Alarms erupted throughout the facility, a symphony of technological panic. Quantum defense systems activated emergency protocols, robotic units converging from every corridor. The Krell's technological perfection was about to face its most unexpected challenge: human determination. "We don't have much time," J1's voice crackled through the communication interface. His ship's quantum drives were already preparing an emergency extraction sequence. The Horizon Breaker's advanced systems began generating complex quantum interference patterns, creating a temporary blind spot in the facility's tracking capabilities. Yuna's first steps were hesitant. Her body, adapted to years of confined space, struggled to comprehend the sudden possibility of movement. J1's drone provided gentle guidance, its adaptive technology creating a supportive pathway through the complex facility corridors. Massive robotic defense units began converging. Silicon-based security mechanisms transformed, creating living barriers of technological precision. Quantum energy weapons charged, ready to neutralize any potential escape attempt. But J1 had anticipated this. His infiltration was never just about entering, but about creating a complete extraction pathway. Arya's voice cut through the chaos. Quantum interference sequence activated, generating multidimensional signal disruption in 3, 2, 1. The facility's entire technological ecosystem began to destabilize. Defense systems flickered, robotic units momentarily lost coordination, and quantum tracking capabilities collapsed. It was like watching a perfect machine suddenly forget its own programming. Yuna and J1's drone moved through the facility like a ghost, invisible, unpredictable, moving through technological blind spots that shouldn't mathematically exist. Each movement was a calculated dance of survival, breaking every known infiltration protocol. The final corridor approached, a massive energy barrier separating the internal facility from potential escape routes. Standard extraction methods would require hours of quantum decryption, but J1 wasn't interested in standard methods. "Arya, activate quantum resonance protocol," he commanded. The maintenance drone's internal systems began generating a complex quantum frequency, a technological skeleton key designed to temporarily dissolve energy barriers. It was an experimental technique J1 had developed during extreme planetary terraforming missions, a method that existed somewhere between engineering and pure technological magic. The energy barrier began to destabilize. Quantum particles danced, creating microscopic access points that collapsed almost instantly. It was like watching a perfect technological wall develop sudden, impossible cracks. Robotic pursuit units were close now, their silicon-based sensory systems pushing beyond standard operational parameters. The Krell's technological pride was at stake, and they would not allow a simple escape to challenge their perfect system. Una felt J1's drone generate a protective quantum field around her. It wasn't just a technological shield. It felt almost like a living, protective embrace. Her Lyran sensory capabilities detected something extraordinary. This wasn't just a machine, but an extension of human technological compassion. The final breach happened in a moment of quantum uncertainty. 1 microsecond, they were inside the facility. The next, they were emerging into the vast cosmic darkness, the research station becoming a rapidly shrinking technological nightmare. J1's voice carried a mixture of relief and determination. "Welcome aboard the Horizon Breaker. You're safe now." The ship's quantum drives hummed to life, preparing to jump through hyperspace corridors. Behind them, the Krell facility was already sending out desperate pursuit signals, but they would be nothing more than silent echoes in the vast cosmic darkness. Una looked at her rescuer's drone, then at the vast, star-filled windows. For the first time in years, she understood what freedom truly meant. Not just the absence of physical imprisonment, but the possibility of something more, a universe of unexpected compassion. The Horizon Breaker's quantum drives engaged, creating a brilliant flash of light that would be just another momentary sparkle in the infinite cosmic canvas. End of Part 5. Little did the Krell know, a human engineer named J1 was already tracking their quantum signature, his own determination burning brighter than the stars surrounding their escape route. End of Part 1.